Hi, my name is Danielle, and if you would have told me almost 6 years ago when I was sitting in an emergency room in Portland, Oregon, preparing to undergo a rape kit, that I'd be standing here in front of you all today, I would have laughed between my often uncontrollable sobs. If you would have told me even a month later, when I was suffering from PTSD and anxiety and depression and addiction and an eating disorder, that I'd be volunteering to share my story over and over and over again, I would have called you a liar. But here I am, standing here today to talk about Day One and the Youth Voices Network and how my volunteer work has helped me to continue to heal from sexual assault and domestic violence. I was introduced to Day One when I agreed to speak on a panel about sexual assault in the media in 2016. I instantly knew that I needed to not only find out more about this organization, but find a way to be more involved. Before I knew it, I was volunteering for speaking engagements with Youth Voices Network, sharing my story, talking about consent and domestic violence, dating abuse, and sexual assault. In the past year, I've shared my story at middle and high schools, during after-school programs and summer camps, and during trainings for the teachers and counselors provided by the New York City Department of Education. Initially, I assumed volunteering with Day One and YVN would be a way for me to fight back against a rape culture that normalizes sexual violence from Hollywood to Washington in the news, media, and sports. But in the wake of the Me Too and Time's Up movements, I've realized that volunteering has also been my personal saving grace. I've been surrounded with compassionate, tireless advocates who knew the value and power of even one person's story. I've been encouraged by those same individuals to take time for self-care and focus on my well-being and share only what I feel comfortable sharing. I've been able to manage my triggers and repurpose my rage so I feel empowered and not broken. What I've realized is that while I might be helping school counselors learn how to better support their students suffering from dating abuse and sexual violence by sharing my story, those counselors are also helping me. They're proof that, yes, there are still helpers in the world. There are still people willing to put in the time, effort, and energy to fight against a society that has passively accepted sexual assault and dating abuse as an inevitability. People who are proud to support students who face name-calling, physical violence, online stalking, revenge porn, and sexual assault. People who are working to redefine what it means to date so that our children don't confuse manipulation for love or coercion for consent. And so now, 6 years after I was raped, 10 years after I left an abusive boyfriend, 15 years after I finally stopped allowing my father to beat my mother, my brother, and I have found continued healing and a larger purpose and a way to reclaim my trauma as a tool. All thanks to Day One and the Youth Voices Network. I am not defined by my past, but I can use it to ensure a brighter, safer, abuse-free future. Thank you so much.